I'm just gonna move the chatting scene. Hello, we're back. I don't know what's wrong with the internet tonight, but hopefully it won't continue. That'd be nice. I would appreciate it. Okay, looks like we're good now. Hopefully there's not too much of a delay. Can I get the invite again? So what are we doing tonight? Well, turns out that Sunday I won't be able to stream. So, I have decided to do another episode of Card Corner. And I've got an esteemed mod, Sarge, with me. Hi, Sabrina.
I'm esteemed.
You are esteemed. Clam. I don't know. All right, give it to me again. Maybe now it'll work.
I've seen it a few times, but let's try it again.
It just says you invited me to play. It doesn't let me actually join the invite. It's very weird. I fucking hate internet.
Invite to lobby that way, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's just not letting me.
All right.
It's really weird. It's you know how like when it says invited you to play, like when you already clicked it? That's what it's doing as soon as you send it. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Netrunner.
Hopefully.
Netrunner is a card game. A living card game made by Fantasy Flight, which is why it's called a living card game. Because living card game is actually a trademark term. It's just not working. I don't know what the issue is.
Oh my god. Okay, let me try I'm gonna try backing out on my end, see if it helps.
I'm gonna try exiting Steam and restarting Steam.
Okay.
Because it's obviously a Steam issue, not a tabletop sim issue.
Yeah.
So maybe all the resets we just had to do caused an issue. Yeah, hello Sabrina, how are you doing? And hello Haru. Hope we're all doing well. While we get this set up.
I can't meaningfully reply to. Because I can't see what you're saying.
For a second there, as Steam opened up, the thing dipped again. I was
gonna scream.
Yeah. I was not happy. Oh? Are we dipping again? Why are we dipping again? Okay, not as much. Okay. Now we can connect.
Oh. And now my tabletop sim is... Okay, there we go.
I'm doing all right, Sabrina. Well, assuming this continues to work. Okay, disconnected, timeout.
Good.
Try it again.
All right, let me invite again and bam so.
Okay.
Bam so. There we go.
There we go. And bitrate staying relatively steady. Okay. Okay. Everything's working out. Let's go. Holy shit. What a shit show. All right, let's go to the game scene while we set up the cards. So, like I said, Netrunner is a living card game. What does that mean? Well, what it means is that all the cards are available from a set. Rather than buying packs, you buy a set, you get the cards in the set. You get 3 of every card, if I remember correctly. You don't have to buy 3 of each set, do you?
In the boosters and in all the like Order and Chaos and stuff like that, it was 3 of everything. For some reason, in the core sets, there were some 1-ofs and 2-ofs, necessitating buying multiples.
That's stupid.
It is.
Why would you make a living card game and not?
I don't
whatever.
know.
But we'll get into that kind of stuff a little later after we finish explaining. So basically, that means that except for in those specific circumstances, you would get 3 of every card. You only have to buy the thing once. You don't have to buy packs over and over again. A much more ethical system for doing card games.
3 of which is the maximum amount you can have in a deck.
Yes.
For the most part. There
Yes.
are exceptions, but as a general rule.
But yeah, let's talk about the card game itself first. Explain what's going on. So like lore-wise, it's a cyberpunk, doing runs, very Shadowrun-esque.
Asymmetric, which is
also
very unique
asymmetric
among card games.
Not typically done and not very often done well. I would say, as far as I've played, Netrunner is probably the only one I've ever seen do it right. It's very hard to do asymmetric, and I think
really
part
is.
of it. I think part of it is the fact that, it's got that living card game. Like you're not pulling booster packs and getting. I got a whole bunch of NBN. I got a whole bunch of this Project Beal, but I'm trying to build with my Roha deck with fucking Stim Hack in it.
Yeah. It's one thing to be pulling and get something for a different type of deck, but still a playable deck. It's another thing entirely if it was like not playable at all for you.
Yeah. Like that's a problem that Card Fight Vanguard has, because like there's a lot of xenophobia in the way the cards work. I think you can't play anything from any of the other tribes. Whereas stuff like Magic, like you can build your deck around playing things from multiple colors.
Yeah.
So like you can like pull a pack and like half the cards are completely unplayable in any deck that you're interested in. Granted, you could do the same with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they print so many awful cards, but that's a whole other issue.
Same with Magic, for that matter.
Yeah. But again, a whole other
same
issue.
for any TCG, should I say.
It's the kind of thing that gets gotten rid of when you're in this living card game system. You don't need pack filler. There's bad cards, sure, but that's because they weren't balanced well enough. That's an issue
And
of
like
balance,
there's only so many ways you can make a card.
Mm-hmm. And if you make too many good cards, you have a way too good deck.
Yeah. That beats out everything by a country mile.
Yeah. So, with this, we have a pretty good game. You want to explain how the game works?
Okay. Well, so obviously the game is going to work differently for each side between the runner, the person trying to hack into the corporation, and the corporation who's trying to enact their projects or agendas, as they're called in game.
Mm-hmm.
The way it works is the corporation makes ice as a defensive measure against the runner, and then spends money to enact agendas by putting them into this area.
The
they only
remote
have
servers.
Yeah, the remote servers. There are only a set amount of actions for each side. You can, in some ways, get more, but as with any card game, there are exceptions to everything.
Yes.
But by default, 3 actions for the corporation and 4 actions for the runner.
And that's these clicks you see here.
Yes. There are ways throughout the game to get more credits to be able to res ice to act as defensive measure, or there are ways to put tags to be able to get information on the runner to be able to attack their stuff directly. Mostly their resources by default, but again, exceptions. Ultimately, the goal for either side is to have 7 points worth of agendas in their score area.
Yeah, and the corporation does this by, completing them by using their clicks or card effects to advance the agendas, as you can see here, and the runner does it by stealing them through doing runs on the various servers. You can see
As an example,
the actions here.
This one costs 2 or gives you 2 points worth of agendas. You can see in the center left.
Right here.
In the top right is how much effort and clicks it takes the corporation to score it. In this case, it's worth 2, gives you 4.
And then, as you see, the effect is, when the runner does access it, they do still get to steal it, but the opponent will get 5 credits. That's what that little symbol there means. It means credits.
It's like with most games, they like to have their own little icons for things. If you look over here, you can see the little clock symbol.
Yep.
Which is next to any of the...
You'll see it on the little pieces as well. Yes, that's clicks.
Yeah. Another thing to keep in mind is that there are these various factions. There are 3 runner factions by default of the anarchs, the people who are trying to overthrow the current system, the criminals who are trying to make a quick buck, and the shapers who are just trying to... they're a lot more ephemeral, but they're trying to find the limits of what can be done, is the easiest description for them.
Yeah.
Then for the corps, there's 4 of them. There's the NBN, who are the news. They make up something like 60% of all media intake across the world, or worlds, should I say. There's Hospiroids, the people who make what you would see as robots. They're Jinteki, the Japanese corporation that makes clones that have they're humanoid looking, but have a similar-ish construction to the robots. The Bioroids is what they're called. And then there's the Wayland Consortium, who are A, pretty much the bad guys, B, which is saying something for this particular system, B, a reference to Wayland Yutani of Alien fame, and C are largely the construction / criminal underground corporation, who also owns... I don't want to get into lore stuff, but it's very intricate lore inside the game.
So yeah, that's basically the game. You also have, the for the runners, you have the memory, which determines how many cards you can have in play, and link, which I forget what link does. It protects you from traces, right, or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Traces, which are things that largely NBN type decks do to try to get traces or do various bad things to you.
Trace burn is a very legitimate style that I very much love.
It pretty bad. I have a friend that we both play with that made a deck that basically instantly killed you by getting so many traces on you, and then sending a targeted nuclear strike on your apartment.
So what you're getting for this is the card game has like a cyberpunk economy system. Yes, it is. That is exactly it.
We have the same 5 credits that we start with, but ultimately I mean, even if it weren't Cyberpunk, ultimately those 5 credits don't mean the same to me as it does to Ian.
Yeah. So like, here we can play this, and that'll go in there, and it'll take up one of our memory.
Memory units, and then it'll cost 2 of your 5
It'll cost
credits.
2 of those 5 credits. The heap is our discard. Resources are just cards that are not, programs or hardware. I guess actually this is probably hardware, isn't it? Or is it a console?
No, that's a program.
Oh, it is a program?
Ian,
Yeah,
it
Icebreaker.
says,
Icebreaker, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how we break through ice, which is what the corporation plays as defense. There's also viruses, which can also be icebreakers, but can also do other things, but they still go in the same place. Here's some hardware. It's a console. We can only have one console at a time. That would cost 4. It increases our memory, so we'd have an extra memory, and then it also has another effect as well. And then you have, your hardware generally are like improvements that do things. There's also just event cards, which will just activate
And have various effects.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They're like spell
I don't want
cards.
to call it a rock, paper, scissors because it's more of a direct rock beats rock, paper beats paper thing.
Yes.
But there is, as you can see on MK Ultra, it's a killer, which means it takes out sentries, of which these right here is what it would take out.
Yeah, you can see
basically,
right there.
The easiest way to think of it is when you're coming up to a defended position, you've got the wall, you've got the door, and you've got the person defending it. And you've got ways to take care of all of those. Then there's special programs called AI that can freely go through any of them,
Yeah.
but usually have some sort of drawback.
Trying to see if I can find one, but I don't.
In AI, it really depends on
Here's
the
a
deck.
decoder. Oop, there we go. There's a decoder.
This wouldn't be one that has AI.
Got a bunch of events in here. It doesn't have a whole lot of AI, weirdly enough. Or it doesn't have a whole lot of programs.
Oh, that's not a...
Is this deck based more on just using events to get things done? Very weird.
I mean, it really... Yeah, I could see it. I had some... It's a very fun game to toy around with.
Yeah.
Different styles of deck.
Yeah. Do we have an Apex deck?
Oh, we do. Yes.
Okay.
Do you wanna?
Let's show off an Apex. Yeah.
Where was that? There it is. Do. Ba 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 ba. Here you go. So Apex's thing is, Apex is a hostile virus AI that devoured the previous iteration of the internet. And now it's set loose again. All of its particular special cards go upon that premise.
Yeah, and
it's a very
all of its programs are viruses. It's very much a control style deck that involves trashing your opponent's cards
while also trashing your own.
Yes. Like this one allows you to just, you trash it, you install it, you trash it.
It's a pretty good one for this type of deck.
Mm-hmm.
But for any other kind of deck, it would be less than useless.
And but yeah, this is how the deck is. It's based on these cards, the runner cards or the corporation cards. You get, you have cards that will work with them. You have some cards that are part of your faction that won't necessarily work with them. Although I guess Apex is all of its own.
Yeah, there are 3 So I said about the major factions, the major runner factions, Anarch, Shaper, and Criminal. There are 3 minor factions of Apex, Adam, who is a Bioroid that has unshackled himself from his programming, and Sonny LeBeau, who is more of a penetration tester.
Yeah, she's a bug tester. Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
Security analyst.
She's fun in her own right. I personally made a ridiculously strong deck with her just because her unique thing, as you can see here, most other runners have 0 or 1 length strength. She starts with 2.
Mm.
That's her only unique thing. And on the face, it sounds boring, but when it lets you go up to like link 7 and you're running up against an NBN, like
Yeah.
you're gonna win, whether you even try or not.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is basically how the game is. It's faction based. All the corporation factions have multiple cards for each corporation. So like, there's other NBN cards, there's other Hospiroid cards, there's other whaling cards. All of them have multiple cards to represent
Different
their
branches.
yeah.
Or different times. Because this is in the future, some of them are 70 years ago, or 70 years from now, and some of them are 65 years from now, as an example. Different ages when they were huge. Probably one of my favorite games, card games, personally. Is there anything else you want to talk about with it?
If anyone has questions, we can answer those. We kind of went slapdash going through the idea of the card game, but that is not necessarily the main idea of our discussion. Although I do want to show it off because it's a cool game. I guess we should mention that the game is semi-dead.
Yeah.
Or is it semi-alive? I don't know which one it is at this point.
It's dead. But there is a group called Nisei, which is one of the Jinteki's sub-branches or child companies in story. But out of story, in real life, it is a group that has made so far 3 sets of their own and have acted as keepers of the meta, banning certain cards for the sake of it. I think just before the pandemic hit, they had a tournament on their own.
That's but yeah, wasn't there a company that was like trying to make new cards for it again?
Them.
Oh, was
they
it
made
them?
new sets?
Oh
yeah,
wow,
they made new sets. We played with a few of them when we did the progression series on it.
Yeah, we went through like the sets and built as we went. But yeah, I think also to mention is that when you play, you're not necessarily restricted to cards of your faction. You have each character has a certain amount of the cards that can be from another faction.
This 45 is the minimum deck size, and 15, the number under it, is the maximum amount of influence on out of faction cards. So this has 0 influence, you can tell from the bottom right. Whereas if we were not playing Reina Roja, this would cost 3 influence. Patchwork would.
Yeah, these little pips here on the side.
Yeah,
it's a little
0
subtle,
to 5.
But yeah. But yeah, I think that's about everything that you need to know about the game itself. So let's talk a little bit about. So this is a, like as I said, living card game. We explained living card games briefly. And we mentioned that living card game is a copyrighted term. So let's look. Fantasy Flight owns the rights to the term living card game. If you've ever heard the term LCG, that's what it stands for, living card game. And yeah, if you look on their website, let's head over to the internet scene so you can see what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at their website right now. Here, I'll also share it with you, Sarge.
All right. I found it, but
There we go.
Here, like that. Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking at their website, living card game, you see a living card game, registered trademark, LCG, registered trademark, offers an innovative fixed distribution method that breaks away from the traditional collectible card game model. While LCGs still offer the same dynamic, expanding, and constantly evolving gameplay that makes CCGs so fun, they do away with the deterrent of the blind buy purchase model that has burned out so many players. The end result is an innovative mix that gives you the best of both worlds. And obviously it goes into stuff about the core sets and what is a core set. Core set, of course, being the box that gives you everything you need to play and the cards of that set. Booster sets are what give you the additional cards without any of the frills. You can see a whole bunch of their card games here. Most of these are dead, right?
Oh no, those are alive.
I said most of them, right?
Those are all the ones that they have where they've continued regularly updating them but
and then here they have some more information. No rare chasing. So if you do like shiny cardboard, you're not gonna find it here.
No. Unless you participate in tournaments, which are probably pretty hard to find for most of these, especially
and the dead ones for sure.
Also that.
You've heard of the Call of Cthulhu one? Yeah. We've been playing Arkham Horror, which is fine. It's fine.
Do you want to talk about it?
We can talk about it. We might go into it more later, particularly with October around the corner.
Spooky.
But we can talk a little bit about it. It's just it's a cooperative card game. So you're not playing against each other. You're playing together to beat a story, and it's very difficult.
It sure is. We might have cheated a little bit in our last one.
Yeah, you notice one thing. You might notice one thing is that 3 of these are licensed properties, and the 2 of the other ones are just Lovecraft.
Yeah, they do definitely rely on their branding.
And then the other one, the only other one is kind of racist.
It's a bit racist.
I've seen the cards. It's a bit racist.
Honor is a major. That is the win condition, is having so much honor.
Yeah, and it's also it's like Japanese, but it's also kind of Chinese, and it's like
it's fantasy, which somewhat defends it, but not really.
Yeah, and obviously it's named after the Book of the Five Rings, which is an actual book written by Miyamoto Musashi, a samurai of his time, or
who is Japanese.
A swords master, I suppose, more so than a samurai. But yeah, this is basically what you will see when you look up LCG, because again, it's a copyrighted term. So what happens if you want to make an LCG? You gotta come up with a new term.
Yeah, don't call it that,
because Fantasy Flight owns the copyright on it. So it's just not in your grasp. Um, let's also real quick go to TCG Player. I want to see. I don't remember if they have any of this stuff because like it's kind of hard to find some of this stuff. By the way, use my TCG Player affiliate link if you want to buy anything. So yeah, if you look up Netrunner, they don't have anything on TCG Player.
I personally at one point had to buy singles for that ridiculous core set reason I talked about, and they weren't cheap. I mean, they weren't as bad as basically anything for Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic, but it did feel a little silly to, especially for that game, to be buying like $12 cards.
Oh, I didn't know they made an alt art of Five-Headed Dragon. Anyways, yeah, you can't find Legend of the Five Rings on here either. I don't. Can you find any Fantasy Flight?
Let's see.
Just look up Fantasy Flight. You can find a dice binder for Star Wars. You can find dice binders for Star Wars. That's it.
For Game of Thrones, you can find Funko Pops.
Oh boy. So yeah, if we go
and sleeves.
If we go online, whoo, Android Netrunner revised core set, $150 on eBay. Here's one of the booster packs. $12.
That's pretty good.
Draft pack.
That was what
4.
It was.
Here's another booster pack for $25. Here's another core set for $180.
That is an expansion, but it's still a ridiculous price for it.
Yeah. Oh look, custom made playing tokens. $76 from Etsy.
That is Etsy.
Yes, it is Etsy. They are custom. But yeah, you're gonna be looking at a lot of money to get these cards. I mean, it is a dead game, but
yeah,
you'd think
there's the Nisei stuff, which is not official.
5 rings. So if you want to go Legend of the Five Rings, you can get stuff for $40. You're gonna have trouble finding it though, because it's a very here's like a $36 one for a booster box. Why would they have a booster box?
I do not know what a booster box
means in this context. Yeah, this is all nonsense. This is all this lore.
Yeah.
This is all this lore bullshit. Literally none of this says anything.
I think it's a set of 6. Because that's what they did with Android, is those booster boxes that were like $20 for 60 cards.
Like this one.
Yes.
So like over time, as the game continues, it gets more expensive, and obviously once the game dies, it becomes very expensive. Whereas something like Yu-Gi-Oh that has not died, most of the cards are very cheap. There's some cards that are very expensive though, because you have to pull them. Let's go back to the game scene. So that's sort of like the economic side of it. I think Netrunner and other Fantasy Flight games like it, and other games that use the same model but don't get to call themselves LCGs, I think this is definitely the more ethical way to do card games. The booster pack system is inherently exploitative. It preys on gambling addiction. And all for shiny cardboard that does nothing. But it's not perfect either. There's a lot of just part of it is just like Fantasy Flight is just like is just a company, you can't trust a company even if they're doing the more ethical version of what another company is doing,
Yeah.
So gameplay wise, Obviously, the LCG system allows for a more egalitarian gameplay. Everyone has the 3 copies of every card, with some exceptions. But what does it do? For the gameplay as a whole. I mean, when everyone has all the copies, the you expect there to be some concentration of the best deck, you know. We do have access to some world championship decks, right?
Yes,
In this tabletop sim.
all 3 of them, or all 6 of them, should I say? Considering because it's asymmetric, every tournament would be a one of to declare the winner, and everyone would come with 2 separate decks.
Mm-hmm.
So here is the 2015 one, Dan Dargenio. Dargenio,
Dargenio.
which I will be bringing over
Mm-hmm.
to the table. Which one is ours? Is it this one? There we
This
go.
one. Yeah, sure. So yeah, we have the Haas Bioroid and we have a Valencia Estevez. And as Sarge said, you would be running one of each. Whoever wins the die roll or whatever you do to decide who goes first gets to choose. Instead of getting to choose who goes first, they get to choose whether they're playing the corp or the runner. Basically, depending on which one you find to be stronger of the two, or you expect to be stronger of the two. And then you go from there. And if we go back over to the table where all of them are, you notice like not a single one of them is playing the same thing.
There is
There's
ridiculous
there's
variety.
one. I think there's one right here. Yeah, there's one Valencia.
There were some people that were eventually quote unquote phased out because they were particularly powerful. But,
yes, Mr. Wizard over here, I believe, was
yes,
banned eventually.
yes, and an interesting thing that they did to convey that they are bans and discontinued is they would usually do away with that person. What happened with Wizards, that aforementioned sending a nuclear strike on someone's apartment, that was his apartment that got nuclear striked.
So yeah, he is dead. This man's dead.
He is extremely dead. He got boomed.
So yeah, you do have you do theoretically have a a concentration around certain decks because everyone has access to them. Whereas with a non-living card game like a collectible or a TCG, you have a price barrier that prevents certain people from playing the best decks, which provides a much more varied meta theoretically. But people just like to innovate. When they just have access to all the cards, they're allowed to build and see what works. So like if you go and look at these top decks, or you go to the Netrunner database and see what the decks they have there are, you can find so many different types of decks.
But like still a huge amount of variety.
Yeah. Now like paint surf was like a big one for a while.
It's a powerful one.
It's a powerful one. It basically plays on a completely different axis from most runner decks, which basically allows it to play around the things that stop most runner decks. So like that one always kept coming back. NBN burn, NBN tag burn, is one that always comes back because it's just such a powerhouse. But like for the most part, there's a lot of variety in here. To the extent that there can be, considering there's a limited number of cards. Yeah, there's paintbrush. That's part of the paint surf.
Arguably the engine that gets running.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the part that lets you ignore the sentry code gate barrier thing.
The again,
The
rock paper scissors isn't the perfect analogy,
yeah.
but it's the best I can think of.
Yeah, it lets you ignore that by making a piece of ice every one of those.
Or in this case, whatever you want it to be of those three.
Oh yeah.
Or barrier.
It just works. It just works. And then there's one that lets you the surf part of it is I don't remember what the full name of the card is, but surf allows you to basically move. So you can choose a res piece of ice, make it gain sentry, code gate, or barrier, and then you go into that ice, and then you move that ice to the end of the loop or of the ice, so that you're right there at the end, and then you just have to get rid of that one ice, and you're accessing the place. Basically allows you to skip most of the ice breaking. Because when you have multiple ice, you have to go through each and every one of them, which can cost a lot of resources. But by playing through that access, it allows you to skip it all.
Which makes playing against it very difficult.
Yes. Apex is another one that plays on a different axis by being a horrible, no good control deck.
A self-destructive monster.
This thing took like 10 million hours to play through.
So I talked about the default winning condition
Mhm.
of getting to 7 agenda points for either side. There is actually one more winning condition for each side as well. If the corporation runs out of their R&D, aka their deck, and tries to draw and then cannot, the runner wins. And we didn't talk about it, mostly because I love the game, but there's a lot of mechanics to it. One thing that can be done, I talked about it with the nuclear strike. You can deal damage to the runner in the form of meat damage, aka hurting them physically, net damage, aka hurting them in their brain, or electronically, should I say. And then there's brain damage, which does brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
All of which decrease or make them randomly discard a card equal to the amount of damage they took. And in the case of brain damage, means that at the end of their turn, their max hand size is decreased by 1 per brain damage they have.
So essentially,
would need to discard and cannot, you die.
Yeah. So essentially, the corporation can lose by deck out, and the runner can lose by hand loop. Getting all that hand out of there.
Yes.
Which is what Apex works on. Apex works on the axis of, oh, I'm going to make the corporation deck out.
Because they just won't be able to build up anything. Because when they start to, I'm going to just burn it all to the ground and start anew.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm in a better position and they're not.
Yep, and after a certain point, you get to the point of no return where you can still play for a while, but there's no point to because you can't ever come back.
When you run out of, say, ice, you can't defend against anything.
Yeah, and when you just get to this point where the advantage that Apex has outweighs the ability for you to catch back up. Giving someone brain damage doesn't sound like an ethical way to win a card game. It's not. That's the idea.
Corporations are evil.
In real life and in card games.
They rule over the main city of the game with an iron fist, collectively. The four of them.
That's actually something that we might want to talk about is the is like just so this is a cyberpunk game. But it actually manages to avoid a lot of the trappings of Cyberpunk.
Xenophobia.
Yeah, the xenophobia, the pitfalls, I should say, the pitfalls
Yeah,
of Cyberpunk, which is, it's not really like got this bent of anti-Japanese, anti-Chinese stuff. I mean, like looking at these cards, it's a very like rich tapestry of humankind, although there is a lot of white people.
there
Um,
is.
but there's a decent amount. It's not perfect by any means. It is still made by a Western company.
Yeah.
This is the same people who made Legend of the Five Rings, no less.
Yeah.
Um, but like compared to something like Cyberpunk 2077, like this is a much more egalitarian view of the future. The corporations aren't bad because they're Japanese. The corporations are bad because they're bad. Because they're corporations.
And two of them are decidedly Western in their theming.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
Kentucky, but there's also Hospiroid.
Hospiroid is like extremely
German.
Western.
Yeah.
And NBN is just news media.
Yeah.
It's not, and like when you look at all these city scenes, you don't see the neon Japanese writing everywhere like you do in like oh, what's a good example? Just any movie.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. That's what I was thinking of. Just didn't come to mind. But yeah, no, it's interesting that part of it, I think. There's a lot more like variety, and in the bodies too. Like you see a lot of bio enhancements all over the place.
I mean, look at Ketzel right here. She's got bird feathers for hair.
Yeah,
Effectively.
yeah, and they're not like making fun of it or anything. It's just there. Like this is a much more realistic look at the future, I guess. Like just like it doesn't, it's not full of the fears that so often plague the cyberpunk genre. The unrational fears, I mean.
Yeah.
The rational fears of evil corporations are there. They're all
Definitely
over the
still
place. The irrational fears of body modification and ethnicities are not there. Which is part of why I like it so much more than something like Book of the Five Rings, or Legend of the Five Rings. I mean, it is thoughtfully made, I think. Is there anything you'd like to say about it, Sarge?
Regarding theming, I can't really think of anything other than parroting what Ian has just said. I enjoyed a lot. I wish it was not super. The reason it's dead, as a side note, is a. So it's called Android Netrunner, and back in the 90s, there was a game made by Richard Garfield called Netrunner. Richard Garfield, same creator of, among many other card games, he made Magic the Gathering, or helped to make it.
Mm-hmm.
After almost, or maybe 2 or 3 sets, it stopped being printed by whoever previously made it. Wizards of the Coast made it. Then around 2010, it was licensed by Fantasy Flight and started being produced. And around, I think, 2018, they were not able to renew the license, and that is why it is not in Fantasy Flight's repertoire anymore.
Oh, I love licensing
Yeah, that's why it's a dead game. Not for any other reason but that.
Yep. As you noticed, you can also go over your deck size limit a little bit.
Yeah.
Although that one doesn't, but I think this one does.
Yes,
Yes.
45 and 49.
Yeah.
There are segmentations of minimum required agenda points in corporation decks,
Yeah.
and 49 is the tipping point, the last section of the 45 to 49. Any more than that, and you would have to put more points into it, agenda points into it.
Yeah.
So 49 is typically the rule of thumb for a good corporation deck.
Helps hide your agendas a little bit more.
Yes, because do we want to do an example game to show how it works, or?
Yeah, sure, we could do that. We can just run the two decks we have here.
Yeah. So the corporation goes first because they kind of need to, and unlike the runner, they get a draw at the start of their turn, which is a mixed bag, decidedly.
I'm forgetting. How much does the runner draw?
The five for both. We actually have the rules right here,
Aha.
so I don't remember, but I'm gonna say 5 is a good one, and then you discard past 7.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm going to install this here. I'm going to install this here. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to install this here.
All right.
And that is my turn.
All right, that is the 3 actions.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Maximum hand size of 5 for both of us.
Yeah. I'm going to play Drug Dealer. That costs 1. Hello? What's going on there?
Do you not have the authority? Let me just
Well, also, I can still see the 5 too. Yeah, I can't touch it for some reason.
That is weird.
Um I guess we'll play Inject. 1, 2, 3. Hello? 4. Oh.
Well, that's well, you got all of those at
Yep.
least.
I get to add all
Inject
those to
is
my hand.
bit of a mixed bag. You don't get the money, but oh, you have count siphon. Good to know.
um that's another credit used up and another click.
Yep.
Um, we'll play daily casts with the rest of our money. We're down to 0 now. Aha, I can use it now.
Weird.
Don't know why. And then we'll just play a Fall Guy for free. Fall Guy is
Guys.
coming to a place near you. The video game.
Fall Guy is pretty good.
Oh, don't forget that you start with one bad publicity because of Valencia Estevez.
Yeah, I also should get 1 credit because of my installation thing. Anyway, bad publicity is what's a good it's a every time the runner makes a run, for each bad publicity, they effectively have 1 free credit to use on their ice.
Mm-hmm. Now at the start of your turn, I get to draw a card.
You do. I am going to install this. I'm going to which gives me 1 credit because of my hotspot origin in the future. The first time you install a card each turn, gain 1 credit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to install this face down, and I'm going to install this face down.
Mm-hmm. All right. So at the start of my turn, drug dealer will make me lose a credit. I don't have any credits. And but
Because you can
then I'll get the daily casts.
which will get you 2 credits. You can, like most other card games, you can choose the order in which these would play out.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, Ian is doing the thing most advantageous towards them.
Yes. So we even though we can't pay the maintenance cost, it doesn't do anything. If you can't
There are
pay,
some cards in which if you can't pay, you take meat damage by them beating you up.
yeah,
But apparently the drug dealer is pretty easygoing.
yeah, I'll just pay him next time. um, let's see here. Let's see here.
With this being an asymmetric game, obviously my stuff stays hidden until Ian reveals it, whereas Ian's stuff is played revealed
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
I actually don't know what to do. Not a whole lot to do.
I mean, if you're flat broke, you might as well do clicks for money.
Well, I haven't quite figured out what the game plan is here. It's a weird one for sure. Um, I guess we'll just use all the clicks to gain money. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, your turn.
At the end of your fourth click, I'm going to spend 5 to install Eve Campaign, or to res Eve Campaign.
All right.
Give me, was that 16?
Yes. I hope that won't get me in trouble.
I'll just
cover her up. Yeah.
there we
Cover
go.
him up, slut.
Wow. And then I'm going to take 2 off of her at the beginning of my turn.
And
also, at the beginning of my turn, I'm going to res everyone's favorite little guy, Jackson Howard.
Oh, this man. This man is a pain in the ass.
He is a menace to society.
I am going to draw as well, though, because of my thing.
I'm going to spend a click to draw 2 cards.
Yep.
With Jackson Howard. I am going to install this. And I'm going to install this. And is there anything else? No. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. So we start our turn. We pay 1 and then get 2. So we have to remove 2 from, oh my god. Let go. There we go. There we go. And then we go up by 1. What are you doing?
Making it simpler.
Oh,
That way you just need to take 1 off.
that's true. And then we will play Wireless Net Pavilion. Then I guess we'll play Same Old Thing. It's free. And then we'll activate the ability, paying the rest of our clicks to activate an event from the heap. Inject. Oops. What? Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
What just happened?
I can't even right click to inspect it, so
That's gone.
it's gone.
That's gone. So we reveal the top 4. All right, and then we draw them all.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm figuring out this is a resource based, or like a not programs based.
Yeah.
How many do we have in hand? Oh my god.
Or hardware
1, 2, 3,
based.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to discard 2.
That was your first click?
No, that was my last one.
That was your last click?
Yeah. We played Wireless Net
yeah.
Pavilion, and then we played that card, and then that card takes up
Same
2.
thing. Yep, okay. He just did 4.
We'll just discard that. Wait, what did you say? How many discard? Just 2,
You had
right?
5. Or you had 9.
Yeah. So 1 more.
3, 4, 5, 6.
There we go.
4, 5, 6, 7. You max hand size of 5.
Oh, okay.
For both the runner and the corporation by default.
Do that.
So you drew your card?
No,
Ian?
not yet.
Oh.
I still have to discard a card
Okay.
for a hand size of 5. I think we'll do that. Okay, and then you start your turn, and I draw a card.
I'm surprised you didn't install off-campus apartment earlier.
I just got it.
Well, I'm going to... I gain my 2 from Eve Campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to install this on the root of the headquarters. Headquarters is hands, and every server can have a root, something in its root, or any number of somethings in its root. Um, I'm also going to draw 2.
Okay.
I'm going to play Hedge Fund to get me up to 9. And then I'm going to... where's the... I'm going to advance this. I'll just use that, I guess.
All right.
Which costs 1 credit.
Okay. All right. So, beginning of my turn, we do our thing. We remove 2 credits, and I gain a credit because I lose a credit from the drug dealer. All right, and we will I flip all these back over. We're going to use a click to install paparazzi.
All right.
I'm tagged,
Yep.
but I cannot take meat damage. Then I will use a click to activate blackmail.
Okay.
So we are going to make a run on R&D. You cannot res any ice.
All right.
Whoa, I
Look at
made
the
it.
top. Yeah, surprise.
Okay, and that
The ice
costs...
can look pretty weird.
Yeah. That costs 5 to trash.
No, that's its strength.
Oh, right.
You cannot trash it. You cannot trash. You can only trash assets
Right, okay.
by default.
Okay. So that will go back.
Yep.
And since we made a successful run, we're going to play data leak reversal.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing the play here. Oh, that's dirty.
That cost a click. Oops.
You gonna do it?
Gonna do what?
Gonna reverse the data leak from your paparazzi that you hired to follow you?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and trash that ice that we saw.
It goes face down
Mm-hmm.
because it's technically not known.
Yes. Even though it's known.
Yes.
And that's my turn.
All right. I am going to
I'm going
draw
to draw
a
a card.
I am going to advance this card
Mm-hmm.
for my first click. I am going to. How much do I need to pay? 4 to trash something of yours?
Yeah, you gotta pay an extra 2.
Okay. Well. I'm gonna. I'm gonna install this there. Paying 1
Mm-hmm.
for my second click. And I'm going to install this there. I'm going to install this there.
Aha.
My third click.
All right. Back to me. So now we get the last.
Oh wait, I got 2 because of Eve campaign.
Yeah. Last thing from Daily Cast. Daily Cast will go to the discard. And I will gain 1 instead of lose 1. We're going to play Wireless Net Pavilion.
Oh my god. That's not unique. That's not unique. Cool.
Not unique.
Unique. There are some cards that have a diamond next to the name, to the left of the name. That means you can only have 1 out in the field at a time.
Mm-hmm. And this is not one of them.
Apparently, you can be in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
Or I guess Nithay should be effectively doing a VPN in multiple places at once.
Yeah.
She's a very interesting reporter.
Yes. And then we're going to use the other 3 clicks to trash the top 3 cards of your deck. It doesn't say once per turn, does it?
Nope. It usually doesn't. I'm gonna do them once at a time, but I want to see how bad it is for me.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's my turn.
Beginning of my turn, I switch this out for 3 and gain 2.
And then I'll draw a card.
And I will also draw a card. And for the rest of my turn, I only have that 1 bad publicity, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 3 clicks and 3 credits to score NAPD contract.
Oh. That's the one I was trying to do. There we go.
NAPD, New Angeles Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
New Angeles is a metropolitan city in the jungle of Ecuador that's through American might basically strong-armed itself into being an American city.
Mm-hmm. That's
Despite
corporations.
Yeah, and that's America.
That's America, yeah.
Considering the Panama Canal.
Yep. That's America,
my turn, though.
baby. That's your turn? All right, my turn. I will lose a credit.
It's a bummer.
I think I'm going to spend a credit to play Drug Dealer. Is this unique?
I
Nope.
can't imagine with that name.
Doesn't look it.
Granted, 2 cards gets dangerously close to a unstable equilibrium.
Well,
And so does losing 2 credits each turn.
I don't lose by deck out.
It's true.
Let me put these. So then I'll just use my other 3 to
Okay.
trash 3 cards. I got you on a 10 turn clock. Technically less than that.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
I am going to lose 2 credits from
I
that
think I'll draw
to
2.
gain 2 credits. I will draw a card. I will install this here. Install this here, and use Jackson Howard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm actually
All right.
loving Jackson Howard right now.
I don't know why.
I mean, maybe you haven't seen what the win condition is yet.
That can be out.
That's what it seems like to me. I don't have any programs.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
Yeah, you're. How far are you in? You're 20 cards in, and you haven't seen a program.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we're gonna spend 2 credits as our maintenance cost, assuming
Yep.
it does it eventually.
I'll do it for you, I guess. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know why it stopped working again. Let's just spend all 4 to trash your cards.
Cool.
This is like faster Apex.
This is ridiculous.
It is. All right, at the beginning of your turn, I'll draw 2 cards.
I'll gain 2 credits. I will advance. Advance?
Now remind me, how many agenda points do you need to win?
7.
7.
I have 2 currently.
2 currently. Yes.
You have 0 currently.
Yeah.
Not that that might matter.
Yeah. We're doing something different. It's like I was saying, we're playing on a different axis. You want to draw 2?
What do you mean?
You want to draw 2?
I just did reactions.
Oh, you did.
To,
you did. All right. Then my turn.
Like I said, I'm realizing that I'm on a different situation and playing this very differently.
We're gonna spend that last credit to play Wireless Net Pavilion.
Come on.
And then we'll use
2,
our
4,
other
6,
3
8.
credits to trash cards.
All right.
Oh my god.
Okay.
This deck is so funny.
Boom, boom, boom.
Imagine coming to your locals. This is what they're playing. Coming to the World Championship and they're playing this.
Doing all that you can to not spit on them. Okay, I'm gonna install this there,
Mm-hmm.
and then advance that to score it.
Sure.
Another NAPD contract.
All right.
Which, thanks to your particular uniqueness, makes it a little bit harder for me to score.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm glad it moved it in such a way so I can actually see the scoring I got.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird.
All right, my go.
Yep.
We're gonna pay 2. All right, cool. Why doesn't it go away when you can't pay? Then we'll use all 4 to start decking you.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'm gonna gain my last 2 credits off of that.
Yeah.
Trash it. Draw a card. You draw your 2.
Oh yeah,
now,
draw 2
or 3.
I do draw 2. Oh, I should discard for hand size. We'll get rid of the Hades shard. I don't think I'm gonna be using that.
Hades shard is useful in its own right, but
It is not
in this case.
useful when I'm not making money.
It's useful in the early game, and that's basically it in this game, in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, for my turn, I'm gonna spend my 3 to score this. Get me to 6.
All right.
Okay.
Sure, why not? There we go.
There we go.
Woo!
Do.
All right, that's your
And
turn.
I didn't even draw one, but there you go. Your turn.
All right, my turn. I'll pay 2. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
Done.
Done.
And then
And then.
oh wait, I didn't even do the thing. Let me just do that real quick. For a solid array beta test. Again, doesn't really matter, but what's that one again?
Oh yeah, looking at the cards that you
Install and resident
had the trash.
I'm gonna install. No, wait, no, not that. I'm gonna get rid of that anyways. But that I'm going to install and res on archives, and yeah, that's what that did.
Okay. Well, let's see here. There's actually a choice I could make here. How far away are you from?
Let's like.
Yeah, you only need 1 more point to win though, and you got a full stacked hand. Well, there's not much I can do about it if you can win in 1 turn, so I guess we'll just use our 4 clicks to trash 4 cards.
2, 3, 4.
Can you win in 1 turn?
Nope.
Haha!
That was my best chance.
Aha!
That was ridiculous.
what a deck! It's just all resources. This was what I was thinking about doing, is playing this, like just getting 3 credits and playing this. But then I realized, like, if you can win in 1 turn, then it doesn't matter what I can play.
Yeah. So you did technically have an icebreaker.
Yes.
And an AI at that.
Yeah, it's a really good one actually. Like that's a crazy card for this game.
Good.
Or for this deck, because like look at how many cards I have in hand. Just trash them all. Just trash. I win.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about with the game?
I guess, like, do you have any like closing thoughts about it? Like, we have like 30 minutes left before I'd want to end stream, basically.
Okay, let's see.
So we have like 30 minutes of conversation here.
While I do like the idea of TCGs, I do dislike, like you said, the fact that it's a trademark.
Yeah, the LCGs, you mean?
LCGs, I mean, yes.
Yeah, it's really bullshit. It's one of those like patent troll things. Like LCG is like designed to be a term for a style of game, like for a release module, or not release module, but like a release schedule, you know, or like a whole fucking paradigm. It would be like it would be like if you trademarked the term archaeology, you know, like
very ridiculous.
It's like, that's just what we call it. Why are you trademarking the term?
And
Um,
also, I mean, kind of how I know that how basically is
because our copyright system is broken.
yeah at the behest of the highest bidder for basically everything all the time.
Mickey Mouse. You can
Sure,
blame Mickey Mouse for this
for a lot
specifically.
of things.
Mickey Mouse did this. Oh my god, the pile of resources back here is so funny.
It is
Just
too full.
so full.
Your entire playset of wireless net pavilion.
Yeah.
Horrid.
All it took was one data leak reverse. There's like a ton of cards in here that are like, make a run but ignore some shit.
Yeah.
Just so you can make a run.
This is definitely a Anarch deck.
Yeah, this is so fucking funny. But yeah, Fantasy Flight, if you're listening to this, please fucking stop. Just release the trademark on LCG. It doesn't make any sense for it to be a trademark term. They won't be listening, but you know.
If they were, wouldn't that be cool?
Wouldn't that be neat?
Would you like to have played another game?
You grabbed the cards in my hand. I think yeah, you grabbed the cards in my hand. So like even if I look away, they're still spinning. How did you grab the cards in my hand?
I don't know.
But yeah, if you think Netrunner looks cool, there's quite a few places where you can play it. I mean, obviously one of them is Tabletop Sim. If you want to be stared at by every card in existence, look at them. They're all here staring at us.
Judging.
It's every single runner.
Well,
not all of them, I guess. Probably.
God, it'd be way too much if it was every single runner.
They're all here staring at us. But there's also other places like Jinteki.
Yes, Jinteki. I forgot it was Jinteki or Nisei.
Yeah, it's named after one of the corporations. But yeah, Jinteki, you can go and play. It's more automatic, so it's more like Edo Pro, but it is a web browser. Yeah, it automatically handles most of the overhead and stuff, and rulings and all that, which is handy because there's a lot of stuff going on in this game. Yeah, that's Netrunner. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like to really discuss, because it's a pretty sensical game.
Yes, very straightforward.
Yeah, like for all the mechanics in it, it all makes sense, and
yeah,
it's an easy one to learn. I think, as far as so like one of these ones that uses like all this extra shit
in specific terminology.
Yeah,
clicks and credits.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't go overboard with the key terms and everything. That's one problem I have with Arkham Horror, is that Arkham Horror tends to go overboard with the key terms.
Oh, does it? Like the fact that I need to consult a rule book just to see what some of them mean.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. Any thoughts on LCGs? I think this is like the way to do TCGs in a capitalist economy. Like
yes.
it's the way to do card games. Like basically treat it like a board game in a way, but like it's still a card game. You're still building, and there's like, the booster packs allow for extensions of that, and progressions of the meta
without being a basically gotcha pull.
Yeah,
every time you
we've been seeing like stuff out of Europe of trading card games potentially being labeled as gambling, which they are.
Yeah.
And like that poses an existential threat to card games, at least in Europe, unless they are made in this fashion. Obviously, again, you can't call them LCGs unless you're Fantasy Flight Games. But there's any number of ways to call it. Let's brainstorm some right now as an exercise. Continuous card game? Nah, that's not really good. Complete card game. There we go.
Yeah, complete card game is a good one.
Ethical card game, ECG.
Ugh, yeah.
Let's see here. You got anything?
Uwu card game.
I don't think that one's gonna fly. maybe Cobble Critters could use that.
Could.
They got a nice cute card design. Speaking of which, so Cobble Critters was last episode of Card Corner for those who weren't watching that one. And their card game is in the fashion of an LCG. Obviously, it's not an LCG because that's a trademark term, but it's in that same style. So it's going to be one box that you get, and it's live on Kickstarter now. So if you want to go support them, I'm in their trailer. I talked about how I liked the game. I didn't get paid. I didn't get paid for it. I just like the game. And yeah, we're gonna see what they're able to do with it all. I think it should be good. It's
got a promising style.
Yeah, and I like the gameplay of it, much like I like the gameplay of Netrunner. Unfortunately, Netrunner's dead, so go support Cobble Critters instead.
Wow.
I guess it's not entirely dead. Like you said, there's people working on it in an unofficial capacity.
Yeah, both Nisei and I actually, when I booted this up, I noticed that there is some other people making their own fan sets and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Their name is a mess, so it just entirely exited my head as soon as I said it or looked at it. Not there. There it is. Mnemic? Mnemic?
Mnemonic?
Mnemic.
Oh, mimic.
Mnemic. Has also done their own both a smaller set and oh god, I hope this doesn't crash it. Okay. These cards as well.
Yeah, I see that. So yeah. Ooh, we're still loading, it looks like.
Yes, there's quite a lot. For some reason it's saying 13 out of 14, but I'm seeing more than 14 cards here, so I don't quite get.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of these. Yeah, I guess we can talk about, like, you know, when a card game dies, what happens to it? Like, you know, a lot of card games, like the Harry Potter card game. Not to bring up J.K. Rowling.
Rowling, Rowling.
The she witch of transphobia.
Who made a book longer than Dune, talking about a YouTuber being harassed for racist videos.
But the Harry Potter trading card game, which I actually have some of the cards around here somewhere. It's also a dead card game, and like, the cards are just hard to come by at this point. Like, if you wanted to play, I don't think you could. But if you do have some of those cards, you could probably sell them for a decent amount, depending on which ones you have, of course. But it's got like 2 sets, and it wasn't really a big thing, so it's just kind of dead in the water. But when you have like a nice fan community like Netrunner, you can actually, you know, keep the game alive well past the point of the corporation who made it supporting it. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like I think Yu-Gi-Oh, if they suddenly for some reason stopped printing Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stopped supporting the tournaments and everything, Yu-Gi-Oh would still survive. I mean, people would be playing like Goat format and Edison and all these older formats, and the game would survive through that, and probably through custom cards just like we have here. Moon Court Grid. 2 credits for each brain damage the runner has. Use these credits to advance or res cards in or protecting this server. Whoa. That's
Yeah, there's
crazy.
some interesting ideas in here. Like Khan Kutsuragu, who ignore your console limits.
Whoa.
Which is a very weird idea.
That's pretty crazy.
Or the guy who can remove his own brain damage.
Hmm.
And draws cards when you take brain damage. What? Yeah, they have some interesting ideas in here. And pre-mades, if we'd like to try them.
Oh, they made virus cards based on dinosaurs for that one girl with the dinosaur console.
Dinosaurus. Chaos Theory. One of the few characters who has visually changed throughout the game.
Yeah.
In the core set, she was 14. And in the revised core set, she is now like 20.
Yeah. I used the older looking one for my thumbnail.
I saw that, yeah.
I noticed they also made different, like they made 2 new atoms and 2 new apexes.
Where
they're over here. I don't know if I can. Right here.
No.
You can see by the drawing I made.
This is that fan one, yeah.
Yeah, the fan one. You can install.
Yeah, that non-virtual resources makes sense on its own.
Turn 1 of your face down and install cards face up. The turn card gains the text 2/2 trash this card. Only the corp can use this ability. Weird. Play with the top card of the stack face up. When your turn begins, you may install the top card of the stack face down. Face up, face down, attack or defend.
Autophagy. Oh, and they're continuing the Is that? I don't think that's Braille. I think it might be a different style.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like the Braille I saw in the well, it actually might be Braille, because it does kind of look like the Braille I saw in the Reggie cave in the Pokemon game. So I just thought to make a joke about that. The fan community is doing a lot to keep this game alive, and I think that's really neat. I think that's the way card games should be, is fan oriented.
Absolutely.
If you're not making a card game that people will attempt to keep alive after you stop making it, you're not making a good card game. You know?
Yeah.
You have failed to make a good card game if people aren't trying to play it after you stop making it. And as you can see by Nisai has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 7 that they've made, and then 1 made by Munich?
Budo code is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So like, that's a lot of fan-made cards.
Yeah, they care. There is plenty of interest that they started at. I mean, technically, they reprinted Magnum Opus while banning some of the cards for being way too fucking strong.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, basically everything else on this row has been fan creations.
Yeah.
Granted, its system Core 19 is various reprints of other cards from previous sets, and same with System Update 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's whoa.
Ooh,
Oh,
don't
tabletop
break them.
sim.
Yep. A lot of objects were just hoovered up.
I think that's pretty good. I think we've got I think that's a decent primer on what Netrunner is, what it looks like, and the problems of the LCG system. I don't really want to talk about any other LCGs, frankly. Well, except for maybe Arkham Horror, well, on the October month. Um,
Doomtown.
oh, I guess we could talk about Doomtown.
Doomtown's a weird one.
I don't like Doomtown.
Oh, what? You don't
It's
like to have to make your deck not just for what's good, but also what'll make a good poker hand?
I don't. It's way too complicated.
And a bad poker hand?
Yes, because you also need bad poker hands too. um, what was I mean, the funny thing is that I was winning most of the time because
You won everyone.
I found like some sort of bullshit thing to do. Um,
Also, you kept getting the correct type of poker hands when
yeah,
you needed them.
yeah. No, I just drew well. I just drew the out. Simple as just draw the out, everyone. Um, but yeah, I didn't care for the gameplay of it.
That was interesting.
But yeah, this is Netrunner, and this has been Netrunner, and this will be Netrunner, and I hope to see good things come from the Netrunner community, as it continues to do its stuff. But I think for now, we've exhausted every
One,
talking point.
if anyone watches the board game reviewer channel called Shut Up and Sit Down, one of the main people on its main reviewers has this link symbol on his forearm.
Aha!
I just want to point that out. And also has a trans woman as one of the main reviewers as well.
Hell yeah! We love to see it.
They are British, but otherwise they're good. Anyway.
That's a shame. But yeah, let's head over to the chatting scene and wrap up. So yeah, this has been Card Corner. This is Card Corner. This has been Card Corner. Card Corner?
Card Corner.
Card Corner. Maybe we can do like a more specific episode sometime about custom cards, because I think there's a lot to say about custom cards. There's a large community of custom card creators, but I think it would take some time to get that kind of stuff together. An ethnography of custom card creators, I suppose.
That sounds racist.
No. It's like, it's not like you're thinking of like fucking what the
physiognomy?
Yeah, that or
craniotomy.
Or the other one, the skull one.
Oh god.
The fucking skull one. I can't remember. For some reason the name is not coming to me. But no, an ethnography is when you like go to a cultural event and write about it from a like anthropologist point of view.
Mm.
It's like you write about the cultural significance about it. It's a weird term. There's probably something better that we could call it, but that's what we called it because the term was made back when people were doing phrenology. That's the word.
Yes, phrenology.
So like the term was made back when we were being extremely racist, but it's not really a racist practice necessarily. You can do it in a racist way, but the practice of ethnographies is not inherently racist. It's just got a bad name.
It sure does.
But yeah, that would be something for another time. Like I said, maybe on an Arkham Horror. I've got some ideas in the tank. These are gonna kind of come out sporadically because I'm in grad school and don't have a whole lot of time to do extra streams. But like I said, since we aren't gonna be able to do the Sunday stream this week, I figured we'd do this. But yeah, any last words, Sarge?
ACAB?
Yeah. Exclamation point socials in chat. Hello? Bot?
Hello?
Oh, right. Well, no, the bot is working. It's just not gonna find the socials for some reason. Well, you can find my socials. There's ways to find them. You can look below in the About page. You can find my Twitter, where I post funny ha-has. You can find my Facebook, where I post when I'm going live. You can find my YouTube, where I post all the VODs, including this one, and also other videos like the progression series that I've been doing, the Yu-Gi-Oh! VTuber Progression League, which has been doing very well. I'm very happy with how well it's been doing. Kind of intimidated by how well it's doing, actually. The most recent one is at like, oh my god, it's almost at 700 views. What the fuck?
Nice.
That is almost 200 views above the previous most successful video. So, yeah, if you want to check those out, see what all the buzz is about, they're on my YouTube. Go check that out. You can also find my Patreon. If you go to my Patreon, you can contribute to it on a monthly basis to help support the channel. You can also find my tip link if you just do want to do a one-time thing. It'll show up on stream. It's fun. I have little things that pop up when you do it. And we have the Throne wish list if you want to give me a gift. We have my TCG Player affiliate link if you want to buy any cards, except for Netrunner, or any other Fantasy Flight games for that matter. But if you want to buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, I think is on there too. If you want to buy any of those, or any sealed product or any accessories for them, you can check out the link that I'll have somewhere on any of my pages. You can find my card. And it'll take you there eventually, to TCG Player affiliate link, where you can get what you want and support the channel all at the same time. Additionally, you can go to my Bandcamp if you want to buy my music. I make music and I put them on Bandcamp. It's Luna Charsky's Radical Synth Board. I don't mention it every time, but there's gonna be some more music coming there soon, so definitely check it out. And Discord. Check out the Discord. We like to hang out in the Discord. Haru's gonna do some watch parties. I run Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments there sometimes. It's a fun time. Go join it. But yeah, I think that's about it. We're gonna sign off here. I'm gonna send you over to Morphe. Morphe is playing Hollow Knight. Gonna go say hi over there. Be kind and courteous when you get over there. That's all I ask. And with that said, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of your night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.